Okay, can y'all hear me? Yep, there we go. Hey everyone, good to see y'all in here. Alex, welcome. Halloween, welcome. Will, welcome. Glad you're still liking the content. Peachy, welcome. Lee, welcome. Yeah, I could go with some Chinese food too. I actually went to order Chinese the other night only to find out that our delivery Chinese restaurant stopped delivering currently. See you, Don. Good to see you. We got a full house in here quick tonight. Y'all gonna make me think you actually like me. How's everyone been doing this week? Good, I hope. I have had a very, very interesting week. It's just been one thing after the other, but very, very productive. Curveball that I didn't expect to happen, but I'll share with you all. I got a phone call to do 2 presentations at the Ohio Pagan Pride in September. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I was really surprised to get it. And they're actually doing a lot of streaming in, so I won't even have to travel for it, which is really super cool. So we're working out the details now. So as long as everything works out, I will be doing it. And if I can share the streaming links or whatnot with you all, I'll be sure to do that as well. Because the topics they're wanting me to speak on is, for the first presentation, they want me to talk about dragon magic. And they actually want me to discuss the ideals and philosophies that I come at magic with, that I call the science of magic. So, so that's a chance to get that viewpoint and philosophy out to more people. Hello, Mathis, Alpha From. Thank you for joining us. So that was a surprising little treat for the week. Another treat some of you already know, but I want to share. The Cora Allegra artwork came in, and she looks freaking amazing on this canvas. So if you're interested in her or any of the Draconic Rulers that's already done, there's the link. Yeah, the artist that is actually willing to put up with working with me and the dragons through evocation in order to nail these down, she's done a fantastic job. I don't think I could ask for a better artist than Sarah doing all this. And my Patreon members have been getting updates on her current pick, which is the ruler of the Dragons of Light. So every time Luminescra makes an approval on the artwork, I kind of give the Patreons a quick peek on how that's coming. Welcome, Janet. Good to see you. So research-wise this week, I've been diving more into the Norse current as I'm trying to get the Norse videos up and going. But at the same time, it's like Odin and Freya just keep throwing curveballs at me. It's nothing's been going the direction I thought it would. And weirdly enough, a good chunk of this week turned into step outside the magic for a moment and start getting your physical life in order. Speak up. That's a first. Normally I'm booming over the speakers. Yes, Loki is quite the troublemaker, but I adore him. He's so much fun. He's primarily the one my wife works with the most. Oh, so you about had me make people go deaf. I almost killed Linda last week on Magical Coffee Hour, if y'all remember that little mix-up. I don't want to make my audience go deaf. I'm here to help, not injure. But part of it was I was supposed to reorganize my home brewing area. And I put it off and then woke up one morning and I heard like 3 corks pop. So I ended up having to basically readjust a few bottles of mead that we had aging. So Odin kind of made sure I was forced to redo that area. So yeah, a lot of they've had me really working on some of the nuts and bolts of the physical life, which has also been good. It's had me look at my work schedule. So that's been really awesome. Which entity? I mean, there's 72 in the Goetia. And I don't work with them all on a regular, so I might even have to look them up. But yeah, so with all that happening, we still managed to get the Dragon Magic 102 course started up and going. And we've got the Runic Magic class fully outlined. Well, yeah, the bottles that, of course, blew their corks, we couldn't exactly recork. So, yeah, he got his fair share of it. There's no doubt. Hey, Merrick, good to see you. Good to see you. So, that's been a good chunk of what I've been doing this week. So, I mean, it didn't go the direction I wanted, but that's pretty much a given if you actually practice magic. That could actually be several of them. Paimon and Belial come to mind right away. Now, that's not enough that I'd feel comfortable going on. But in the list, go to any of my recent videos. There's always a recommended book list. There's one of them called Demons of Magic. It's a very modern look at the Goetia, and it covers all 72 as well as how to work with them. Great book. And it lists what they can do, or gives some things they can do, because honestly, they can do a lot more than the one or two things that most people list for them. But it's a great place to get started. And you can get it in an ebook. Will, I do. My Twitter is at, you know what? Hold on a second. I think I can just, let's see if I can do this. This right here might do it. I usually have them linked below the videos, but every time I say that, you all keep telling me I need to. Oh, that's too much. It won't let me do it that way. Okay, I gotta link them. But on Twitter, I'm at Dragon Working. They decided to be difficult. There is a Facebook group. We do have a Discord group, and even an Instagram. And they are all linked in the descriptions below my videos. So, no problem. I know a lot of people use different social medias, and I've got some people, they prefer to follow me on Instagram, some on Twitter. So I tried to make it so that whatever your preferred social media is, that we got it. Messaging me wise, Discord's the best way. Jump into the Discord group and message me there, in the Working Dragon Mystic group, which that link is also below the videos. Because Facebook has not been good at getting me my messages. So, yeah, I post on Twitter. I try to make sure all the videos are up there. If I think of something clever and funny, I'll post that, which I don't usually when I'm just sitting around. If I'm not talking to somebody, clever and funny don't pass my brain too often. So I'm not really the most entertaining Twitter person to follow. Last year when I was able to get out and hike and I was in the yard grilling, I would take goofy photos and slap those up on Instagram, but just been kind of stuck in the house lately. You might need to resend it because I'm not sure I got it. That's weird. Huh. Yeah, you might need to resend that. Because last time I looked at my Discord, I'd responded to everybody who's messaged me. I actually made a point to look at it this morning. Open ocean, symbols for the staff. Well, first off, I have to say that's a very personal thing, but general recommendations from my point of view. You want to put, if you can find symbols for the elements. I mean, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit are pretty easy to find in most cases. There's really not any others that do a good job of representing light, dark, maelstrom, and chaos. So you might have to get creative there. One thing I did with my staff is I actually, instead of just using the elemental symbols, I took the names of the dragons and created a sigil out of their name that I could use a wood burner to burn into my staff. So now when you're creating your sigil, make sure you create something you can actually paint or wood burn, because the first sigil I created, I wasn't thinking, and I went to wood burn it, and I realized I cannot reproduce that with a wood burner. So I had to go back and redo it. But really, those would be the only ones I can recommend directly. Beyond that, think of who you are and think about your path, because every dragon magic practitioner they're going to be unique. Your path will be as unique as you are from me. So your personality and everything's really going to come out in that. That's the reason my staff, for example, it's not very flashy or showy. It's very practical. It's very durable. It really fits my philosophy and my practice. Whereas some of them I've seen are just gorgeous, artistic, and it really suits the magician. Welcome, Cast Iron. See ya. Yeah, I did not put a pentagram on mine because I cannot draw a pentagram that looks good to save my life. So if you do decide to do a pentagram, print one out so that you can lay that on the staff as you burn it, because you're going to have to burn on a curve anyway, unless you have a square staff, which actually, when it comes to putting images on it, that'd be real handy. Oh, I'll have to look, Cast Iron. I'll check it out. Because was that recent? Because I've not gotten any pings for anything. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Oh my. Yeah, I'd be interested. Oh, that is sweet, man. Yeah, I'll get with you tonight after the stream so we can work something out. I appreciate that. That's great. Yeah, the travel route. That's actually something I do have on my staff. I actually have the entire Elder Futhark going down my staff. That's why I missed it, because Facebook usually only goes through my phone. And before I do these, I've learned to turn my phone off, because I would silence it, but then I would check it. And since my phone would come on, I didn't think to turn the volume back on. And I was missing a lot of phone calls that way. But if I turn it off, it don't make a noise the whole stream. And when I go to check it, it just turns it back on automatically. So much nicer. Welcome, Ross. Good to see you. Yeah. I've done the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram quite a bit with dragons. In fact, oh my God, that was years ago. But me and a ceremonial magician goofing around, we deconstructed the lesser banishing ritual and built it back up using dragons only for chaos magicians and practitioners who, for whatever reason, they just didn't like the lesser banishing because of the names of God and the angels that was used in it. And it was a mental exercise for us as well as an energetic one because we wanted to know if we could do it and if we could still get it to function correctly, which we did do. And most of my students I work with personally, they do have a copy of that. And actually, the ceremonial magician I was working with at the time, last time I talked to him, he was still using it. He fell in love with it. And I used it for quite some time up until the dragons gave me the dragon flame ritual. So, yeah, it's doable. I actually, you know what? I should probably share that ritual on the YouTube channel at some time. I gotta get in touch with him. I want to see if I don't know if he'd be okay with me mentioning his name to credit him with it or not. So I don't want to give him a shout out until he gives me the okay. So I need to get in touch with him before I do it. Amelie Armarta Lidberg. Aloha to you too. Whew, that's a mouthful. Oh, well, cast iron, that's freaking awesome, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll message you and we'll set something up. No, it worked really well. The lesser banishing ritual with the dragons because it cleared the energy out utilizing the dragons. So I mean, it really, in a lot of ways, it worked similar to the dragon's flame ritual. Um, the energy did feel a little different and not quite as potent, but it worked pretty well. Yeah, I've got we've filmed a lot of videos lately, so I'm actually getting ready to start filming some more. So I'll add that to the list and see if I can get it up at least within the next couple months. Frostfire, usually spiders and dreams are dealing with fate, more specifically taking charge and control of your fate and being the weaver of your fate. That's usually the main go-to meaning with them. Yeah, see, cast iron's got it right there. Yeah. I've always been told hiding in a dream represents that you're hiding something from yourself, and or lying to yourself in some way. You're refusing to face something. But I'll admit, dream interpretation is not my strong suit. Oh, good, Emily. Thank you. Um, yeah, having them protect your online presence is perfectly fine. Any of the protection dragons, like Terrafana, the Earth ruler of Earth, should be great at it. Um, Even Torgra, protection's actually something that's in his wheelhouse. The water dragon we shared, he'd be really great at it as well. Oh, Weaver's a pretty good thing. I mean, it's about creation and, you forging your own path, which that's something I love personally. I worked with her a little, not enough that I can't say I really know her well because I've only encountered her a couple times during my Clifothic meditation last year because it was mainly focused on just working with that sphere, not necessarily the ruler. So I only worked with her in passing. And I was actually really looking forward to working with her when I did the evocation side of it, which, as you all know, that got put on hold till fall. So won't be too bad long before I get to start that back up. But I am looking forward to working with her more because y'all, I don't think I've told you all this, but I'm terrified of spiders. I do not like them at all. So working with her, it's anytime I meet an entity that relates to spiders, I always find out they have so much wonderful information to teach me, but inevitably I also have to push past that knee-jerk fear too. So it's a big growing experience anytime I encounter any spider related entities. But I actually was looking forward to working with her more, and still am. Still am. Yeah, just type it out and I'll try and do my best with it. That's two places I'd actually like to go, Peru and Sweden, Emily. That's nice. And nice to meet you too. Welcome to the channel and to the chat. I'm out of coffee. I almost put a hex on the whole thing. Okay, we're all right. We got coffee now. I liked your art, Halloween, but it was a spider. Spiders creep me. But I'm really big on face your fears. So if I kind of every entity I've ever worked with has taught me this, and I kind of knew this even growing up. If you're comfortable, if you're happy, and everything's pleasant, you ain't doing anything worthwhile because it's too easy. You got to be uncomfortable. You got to be stressed. You got to be pushed. You got to be outside that comfort zone for growth. So I'm a big believer in face your fears, which is one reason I dove so heavy into starting the channel. I didn't ease into it. If anybody goes back, you'll notice it was just video after video after video, at least once a week. I didn't ease into it at all. I just dove in because I'm terrified of cameras. I pretty much am on a constant IV of coffee. It's all I drink all day long. However, I have actually learned a lot from my panic zone. I will have to say my life has bizarrely kept me in the panic zone. Um, I don't know if any of y'all remember the movie Top Gun and the song from it, Danger Zone. Yeah, most of my life was spent past the danger zone into the panic zone for sure. But I wouldn't change it. I really would not. I wouldn't be the man I am if I did. Yeah. Mathis, my wife loves spiders too, and it's kind of funny. If it stings and flies in this house, I kill it. If it's a spider, she gets it. Now, granted, if there's a spider in my house and she's not around, I will kill it. Um, if she's around, she wants to catch them and let them go. It's like it's trespassing in our house. Don't let it go. What if he comes back with friends? Oh yeah, I did say yeah. Just type it out and share it, as long as you don't mind everyone seeing it, because I can't filter it. If you want it filtered, you'll have to send it to me on Discord. Just be aware of that. Um, well, see, I've been racking my brain on that because that's actually videos I've been wanting to do. Open Ocean, you kind of put me on the spot here, man. I have been trying to think of these growth exercises a person could do to control their stressor situations. And part of the meditation course that's at the school, we don't just teach the different meditation techniques and how to do them, but we also made it into a self-improvement path working. But I know that course is so large, priced at $50, not everybody can pull that off. So I've been trying to think of ways that I can do that. Right now, the easiest I can say is do work on your daily meditation. And in that meditation, try to push yourself past your comfort zone. So if you're comfortable sitting for 5 minutes, but not 10, you want to push past the 5. And I know it's weird, but just pushing past that comfort zone alone can actually help a lot. And also work on your arcane sanctum. And for lack of a better word, put a section in there somewhere of all the things that scare you and stress you, so that you can approach them, kind of a old X-Men danger room, if any of y'all remember the comics. So that it's a controlled environment, but it's going to get you out of that comfort zone. But I am hoping to I'm actually hoping to do some videos on that exact thing, man. I just haven't figured out how to articulate it and how to present it in a way that I know is going to be controlled enough that I'm feeling okay putting it on YouTube. Weather spells. Well, weather spells aren't too difficult to do. Your biggest problem with them is the land spirits themselves aren't going to be happy when you start screwing with the weather too much. They don't mind occasionally or here or there. But if you start doing massive changes, they get real ticked because it'll shock the environment. And you also got to be aware that there could be other entities and or people that don't like the same weather. So, and I've gotten to where when I work with the weather, I go through the dragons to make sure there's a nice balance maintained. Ross, yeah, I did deal with Samael. In fact, when I got put on hold, I was working with Lilith and Samael both. They're the two that put me on hold and told me to come back in the fall. And I did work with him and Lucifer throughout the meditation one I did as well the year prior. They have a lot of similarities, but energetically, I have a hard time thinking they're the same guy. I really do. But I want to reserve my opinion until I do the evocation work and really work head on directly with the rulers, which is what the second path working is. But the first time through, their energies were very similar. but there was enough difference that how could I? It's like two brothers who share so many qualities that you know these guys are brothers, but they're very different people. That was kind of the feeling I got from them, but I do want to work more with them. So that's the initial feeling I got from them. No, cast iron. That's not actually insulting at all. I actually had corrective surgery on my eyes, so I actually got my vision fixed. The reason, the reason I have those squinty eyes as it is, I have worn glasses my entire life since I was like 4 up until last year. You guys can actually watch the channel and you see when I get my eye surgery. But I also, my eyes are real sensitive to light. So unless I have really dark sunglasses on, I tend to squint. And in the South, they refer to it, like a hunter, because hunters kind of squint to focus in on things. So everyone just assumes I'm a hunter, which I can see really good. I'm good at hunting. I won't lie, but it's more the light than anything's why I squint. And it's just, that's how my eyes are all the time. And actually the eye surgery made my eyes more sensitive to light. So that didn't help much either. So I just have them squinty eyes. Which, there's people like Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp that had those squinty eyes too. So I'm in good company. But no, actually, I try to open my eyes a lot for videos, but then I end up looking weird. So I just gave up. And it's not insulting. I mean, it's a really good question. I'll be honest, I'm surprised no one's asked it up until now. To my knowledge, Samael is not linked with Yahweh, other than Samael is viewed as, he was at one time viewed as the angel of death until, biblically speaking, strictly, but biblically speaking, he was viewed as the angel of death until the rebellion. And some people say he still is, and the new angel is just a different personification of him, and it just gets wonky at that point. But I can say Samael and Yahweh are very different. All right, Mary, let's see. So a friend of mine did Reiki on me. Because I had white hair, silver eyes. Oh, that is a long, long one there, Frostfire. Let me. That's a. Yeah, let me think on that a little bit, Ocean. That's an interesting one. Because you're definitely encountering a lot of elements there. If you don't mind, direct message me on Discord a copy of that, because I really want to meditate on that one for you. That is a fascinating one. That's a really cool one. I like it. Oh, no, no, no. Well, I do have some dark reflective sunglasses I keep in my car. They are slightly mirrored, but I prefer not to wear mirrored most of the time. Um, Especially now that if I'm planning to do any videos outside during the day, we don't want mirrored sunglasses because then you'll just be able to see the camera in front of me. But yeah, most of the time when I'm outside, I've either got the brim of my hat pulled way down or I've got sunglasses on because I will get headaches. It's bad. But it is nice to not have to worry about glasses anymore because my eyes were getting to the point where my glasses couldn't correct. They could either correct close or far. The doctor couldn't get them to do both. So, and I still wake up in the mornings and reach for them. That's how long I had glasses. It's just reflexive. Just go for them. Thanks, Rast. Well, I get hit on all the time, so apparently I must be doing something right. I don't know what, but yeah, I was sharing them when I was doing the path working when I first started researching ramblings. That's actually one of the things I was talking about. Um, and I'm actually looking forward to getting back to sharing that with you. I, I don't want to say I'm disappointed because honestly, Lilith and Samiel, what they put me on, really changed the course of this channel, and it's been helpful all around. They knew what they were talking about. It's just I'm for such a patient person, I'm not patient when it comes to knowledge. So I'm just like, I want to get back into it. But yeah, I will be sharing more about that come fall. You can guarantee that. If you're talking about the wait, what pot? The one cast iron's talking about? I don't I don't have a way to link it. And unless he can teleport it, I don't have it yet. Which if he can teleport things, me and him need to talk about more than a pot. Uh, Emily, I can say that they do have a strong presence in Scandinavia and Asia. As far as it being part of a time traveling war, I don't know if I'd call it time traveling or a war because really dragons don't work on a linear timeline. A lot of entities don't. What we consider time to them is a giant ocean that they can just kind of swim through. Up, down, sideways, diagonal, whichever which way they want to go. And though there are conflicts, I don't think every time the dragons talk about it, they talk about it more in isolated incidents. They don't talk about it like a war directly, like there's an opponent. But it's all built around maintaining that balance in the multiverse. Um, and it's been so long since I've actually sat down and talked with any of the elder dragons about it that I'm having trouble even articulating it. But I hope that makes sense. But yeah, it is accurate that they're definitely working through a lot of conflicts, and it's not just in those areas. But they do the dragons do have a very strong presence and connection to those areas. Asia is pretty obvious. Dragons have always been treated very well in Asia. Scandinavia, most people are surprised about because if you look at Scandinavian lore, like the Norse mythology, you don't really see dragons painted in very good lights there. But I noticed that dragons work really well with Norse, and I'm actually planning to do a video on that. And when you go back along that religious line, you do see that serpents and dragons actually played a more positive role than what we have recorded. So it's really cool. But that is accurate. It's just the dragons they seem very adamant to word it differently. I'm not 100% sure on why. I got my coffee in a Working Dragon Mystic mug, see? Oh! I have it in the French press. I have a lot of different methods to making coffee. In fact, my wife, for our anniversary, though our anniversary is not till June, she was able to get online and ship me a personal espresso maker that it fits in my coat pocket and makes espresso. She meant coffee pot, Mathis. I thought she meant cooking pot. Let's not mention the other one. I don't need YouTube flagging my video. Well, that particular relevance is closer, but it still doesn't work with how dragons see time. Actually, open ocean, yeah. In my arcane sight class at the Working Dragon Mystic School, we actually have an arcane sight class free. And one of the meditations in there is specifically focused on focusing energy into the third eye and breaking up all what some people refer to as calcification on that pineal gland and opening it up, freeing it up, and getting that third eye really supercharged and working. So that's a free class. You can pop over there, and the entire class is focused on training your third eye and your arcane sight. Yeah, there is a spell in the Dragon Magic 101 course as well. You're not too far from it. I'm wanting to say it's somewhere in the Guardian Pathworking or the Co-Magician. I haven't looked at the curriculum in a while. So these just go to workingdragonmystic.com, and at the top of the page you'll see a link that says online school or online courses. Can't remember exactly what it says. It might even say online classes. Click that, and you'll see all three of the classes that we currently have at the online school. There's a meditation class, the Dragon Magic 101, and the Arcane Sight class. The Arcane Sight class is the only one that's free, though. And you can find a link to the school also below most of the videos. The live streams won't let me put links until they process and publish and all that funny stuff after. But, actually, it'll let me drop one link. Hold on, I'll just grab you I think I have the school link here somewhere. Let's see if this works. Is it going to work this time? Yep, that's it. And we are working on getting more courses up and live. So right now the plan is everybody is just wanting more on those arcane pillars I talked about. So I'm actually planning to do an entire course that deep dives and focuses on training you in each of those arcane pillars. So that would be divinations, evocation and invocation, and journey work and soul travel. So we got those 3 classes that we're wanting to get put up first. And with all the questions I get about evocation, I think that's the one I'll probably be doing first. Because if y'all are asking, clearly y'all interested, so it would make sense to film it first. There you go, Mathis. Magic, the way magic works, most people don't get this. It flows like water, and it's going to take the path of least resistance, but it will still manifest what you're looking for. Dragons. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to. Elfram, I'm trying to understand that. It says you read about dragons in Wicca. There are purple. It's an amalgamation of more than one dragon. Huh. There are purple dragons. And there are dragons of multiple elements, but it's still just a singular dragon. So I'm not sure if I'm reading that wrong or not. Thanks, Merrick. I will take a peek at that and meditate on it and get back to you with more details. I appreciate that, man. Sorry I couldn't answer it well in here, but if I'm going to answer it, I actually want to do it well. You know what I mean? Yeah, you will have dragons. Well, again, they're not necessarily multiple dragons, but what they're called is cross element dragons. And they actually do embody multiple elements, not just a singular element. So these dragons will work within multiple elements. When I first met Torgra, I suspected, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, he actually is water and earth, though he works primarily in water. The world serpent himself is actually like chaos, earth, water, and I actually think he has a little maelstrom in him. I haven't had a chance to ask him about that, but I know he's at least the other 3. And any of these cross element dragons will fall under the rulers that pertain to it. So they will work with all the rulers of the elements they embody. So I've never heard it referred to as fusion, but from the sounds of it, it's the same. We're talking about the same style of dragons here. I love that balance spell. I really do. Oh, no problem, Alfred. I'm always happy to talk about it. Help out where I can. Yeah, there's frost dragons. Um, do we? I'm trying to think because there's one frost dragon I met. He will be in one of the courses. But I don't know if it'll be the 102 or 103 course. But when I first met him, I was walking up to what essentially looked like a giant frozen mountain. And I was trying to find the dragon that I was supposed to be meeting. The next thing I know, the mountain, ice starts falling off it. And it was him. He had just been laying there sleeping so long he froze over and then snow fell on him. But yeah, frost dragons are a thing. That's actually good to hear. And so that one thing I will say about prosperity spells, it's not always true, but by average, it tends to work out this way more often than not. The slower they work, the more they bring in. The faster they work, the less they bring in. It's like if they work quick, they'll work quick to bring in a set small amount. But if you do the long term, they yield so much more. That's the reason the prosperity spell on my channel is a long-term spell because the yield on it is just insane. And I don't know about you all, but you drop $700 in my hand, it's not hard for me to blow through that. And I won't lie, it's probably going to be eaten out mostly. Yeah, Halloween. There are dragons that work very specifically with animals. So, and their type would be linked with that animal. Most of them fall within earth, air, and water. Those are usually where you'll find your animal dragons. So, like a wolf dragon, a shark dragon, whale dragon, eagle dragon. I know these sound dorky as can be, but uh, but I don't think the dragons particularly were going for style points when they were naming different energy patterns and the dragons that worked where. They just seem to be, well, the dragons aren't creative with names, let's be honest. I work with fire, so I'm a fire dragon. They're not real creative there. They just look at what they work with, and that's what they are. Oh, thank you, Peachy. Even though I keep making you spit water, I'm your spirit animal. You're the second person that's called me a spirit animal. I am unfamiliar with that name, Chaos. And for some reason, I'm looking at it thinking I should know it. I think there's a prosperity spell in the Dragon Magic course, but there's also one on the channel. I do recommend using both. They're really great. That's okay. Okay, yeah, I know it now. Okay, ain't that the one that like landed and like took out a whole mountain? See, I read. That's why I should have known it, or I should say, fell. It didn't land. In a bag. I'm a foodie. I won't lie. I really am. That's that's why if you look at the videos when I started the channel to now, I gained weight because we just moved back to the south from the northwest coast. And I went on a 1-year bender of I missed Southern cooking. And now I got to correct the damage. Which I'm doing a good job of correcting it. It's just, sitting around the house ain't helping none either. I also went from being more active to more of a office-like job, which was weird for me. That's a whole new lifestyle for me I'm trying to adjust to. Yeah, I think it's only mentioned the Cimmerillion's the only place I'm sure I've seen it. So it is an obscure reference. Yes, a spirit animal is different from a familiar. A spirit animal is an animal that it's with you through the astral. Obviously it can come to the physical plane, but you're still going to need your arcane sight to see it. Though it can also attempt to communicate through animals of its kind, or other animals that it sends to you. But it has a much higher level of intelligence, consciousness, and teachings than a familiar. And sometimes it's even partially an ancestral spirit in a lot of cases. So they are different. And the spirit animals can also change over time, or you can just pick up new ones depending on what's needed to be taught. Are frost giants malevolent? No. They're chaotic. Very chaotic. But they're not what malevolent, evil like we would think of them. And if you actually read through the Eddas, it doesn't take long before you realize the giants are just another tribe of beings just like the gods. And not all of them are bad. Most people want to focus on the stories where the giants are doing something crazy, or the fact that Thor's always out killing giants. But he's protecting Asgard from giants that are a problem. Many of the gods actually married giants. Even Thor's mother is actually a Jotun. So, no, they are very primal, they're very chaotic, but they're not malevolent. And it's just a lot of humans have trouble with that chaotic and primal thing because we get so stuck on what we view as right, wrong, and moral that we have trouble even looking at Mother Nature and realizing how cruel she is. It is possible. A lot of people use evocation for that very reason. I've done it myself. I send plenty of entities to help my wife when she's away from home, as well as to keep an eye on her. Past life spirits have a direct connection and knowledge of your soul, where ancestral spirits is more directly tied to the family line and or groupings which you were brought into. So ancestors don't have to be necessarily genetic. So a great example is your parents. They're going to have two separate family lines, but they're going to share both lines as ancestors, even though they're not genetic, because they were brought into those families, making them ancestors. I have not read those, no. And there's a lot of places giants are, treated very, very well. It's just most people, for some reason, they skim over everything about the Jotuns in Norse mythology that shows them as wise, intelligent creatures. And I have to go back and reread the Prose Eddas by Snorri. It might be his works that do it. I think I could send a dragon over there to try and help you out with some crazy stuff. See if it could at least taper it off some. Yeah. Now, one thing people do forget: there are points in our lives where the box is meant to be shook. Okay, we're going through our lives and we're like a cat in a box, and at some point the universe is like, time to shake the box, and it's just like a toddler just and at those points in time, entities, instead of stopping the chaos, they will help us navigate it. And those are growth points. Most astrologers would agree that around age 28 is a major growth point for most people, because that's when Saturn's supposed to swing back around for a growth period and bring a bunch of chaos with it. But I will definitely send a dragon over to help you out a little bit there. I think I'll send someone a little calmer than Angus. I know a little bit about trolls. As far as actually encountering real trolls, not fantasy trolls, I've only had a run in with, I think, 5 of them, and it was all in the Fey realms every time. I've never had to deal with a troll in the real world. It was always in the Fey realm. Only 2 of them presented any kind of threatening mannerisms, which at the time, the Fae I was with basically made them stand down. But because of that, I don't really have as much knowledge and lore base on them as I'd like. The best I can tell you is they are large. The ones I saw smelled bad. They did seem brutish, but weirdly enough, they also seemed intelligent, if that makes sense. So, they did kind of give off that large, hulking, brutish appearance and even movements. But they seem to have a higher intelligence than you would expect. So I don't know if that was, I'm not sure why that is. They are a type of Fey entity that I want to work with more, or at least learn more about. Maybe not work with, but learn more about. Yeah, when you get to working with Angus, he's going to have a field day on you. I'll have to check it out. I do have Netflix. I have had anchovies and salami on a pizza. It's you better be ready for a salt bomb. Hey, I watch cartoons. Nothing wrong with cartoons. In fact, I was watching Simpsons last night. I hadn't seen Simpsons in years, and I found it on Disney Plus. Talk about reliving my childhood. I'll have to look that one up, Ocean. So yeah. Oh, well, we're at our hour, so be thinking of any last minute questions you want to ask, and to let you know the live streaming classes. Those will be being posted through the workingdragonmystic.com, the online school. That's where the signups and enrollments will be once we figure out how many seats will be available. I'm wanting to do 20 seats. I think I can handle 20 seats as long as we do the presenting and then the Q&A over each section. The question at hand is, how long will this be? Because like the enchanting class that we talked a little bit about last week, if we did that one, that could easily be a 4 to 5 hour class if we did the lessons, the demos, and actually had you work through it with the demos with me, as well as the Q&As. So if we did them in one sit down instead of multiple sit downs, that would be a long stretch. And I'm wanting to do them in one bracket because that way I can do them for cheaper. Because every time I have to bracket a day off, it costs more. It's stupid, but that is what I'm looking at. So I was wanting to ask you all, and Halloween, if you can figure out a way to do a poll on the Discord server, that'd be great. And I'll try and do one on, I think I can set up a poll in the community tab on YouTube. I'll try it. But I'm going to give an hour range of how long the class would be total if we done a single sit down. And I'm going to have y'all vote on how long you're good for. And that'll give me an idea of the best way to structure this. So I may have to do like little mini classes. I may have to do them smaller than what I was originally thinking. When is the newest one? The newest class? Currently, Dragon Magic 102 actually is the only one that has a release date. And we're shooting for mid-September for that. Though that said, it would at least theoretically be possible the Runic Magic class might release before it. It just depends on how long it takes us to shoot the Runic Magic class, because we're still working out some of the shots. But we have it outlined already. And part of me thinks I can get it shot and up before September. But like I said, I don't have a release date on it because we don't have a filming schedule yet. So I can't say that. All I can do is with our filming schedule, the goal is to have Dragon Magic 102 mid-September-ish. So that's going to be the next one out. The Runic Magic class is going to be either somewhere before that or soon after. And honestly, after that, I really want to start filming the evocation class. I really do. Because in Discord, in my email, everyone's always asking about evocation work. How do I do it? And there's not really any good books that goes into the real meat of the product. The best one is, it's the books that I list below in the descriptions. But they give you a narrow system to work in, and they don't really teach you why it's working. So if you want to move outside the system, you can't. And that's always bothered me. And in my class, I've always taught my students the system so you can go wherever you want with it. You understand why it works and how to construct it so you can go wherever you want. So I am going to be working on the evocation class and getting that one up. After that one, I don't know which of the arcane pillars I'll focus on next. because divinations and journey work both get so much attention from everybody. It's really hard to pick one. But evocation clearly takes the lead in which one I get the most questions on. So those are probably the 3 classes you can be looking forward to. So yeah, they're all going to be coming, and I'm going to do as much demo with it as I can. Part of me, and you know what? Actually, this is a great time. I want you all to tell me what you think, because part of me feels silly about demoing evocation, because clearly I cannot show the entity appearing on camera. I can do the whole ritual. I can get the entity to appear. I can communicate with the entity, but the camera will not show it. So I don't know if that would be a waste of film and you all be like, he's wasting his time, I don't need to see this, or if you think that would be helpful. But I will at least do like I did with the Dragon Magic class and the meditation class, where I talk you through it, and then I even do I cut to a film where there's not me talking, there's just me doing it. So you can actually see what it looks like if you were to do it. But if y'all got an opinion on whether or not demoing the rituals would be a waste, or whether you think it'd be helpful, let me know. The demos are better? Okay. Mathis, I didn't get a holiday. I think I worked more. Okay. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of good feedback on, me telling what you're going to be doing and then showing it. So I was wanting to keep that up with the evocation. I just didn't know if it looked too cheesy considering what the topic is. And y'all know me, I try to give you information and data that's going to help, and I try to not really dramatize or flare it up or any of that. Okay, so I might have put that one goofy scene in the shadow work video. But come on, people. That was fun. Okay, cool. So when I get to doing the outline, I'll make sure all the demos are in there. Awesome. So yeah, that's what we've got coming. We should be hopefully seeing the Ruler of the Light Dragons artwork on the store soon, for those of you who are collecting those particular artworks. We do have a wall hanging now with the Dragon's Eye seal that can be used as if you want to, you can actually lay it on the ground and sit in it like a circle. Scary drink for the win. I know, right? I don't know how scary it was. Everybody I know can't watch it without laughing. But and we do have beach towels that, well, they're altar cloths is what they are. It's just, like I said last week, I was looking for a durable altar cloth that can travel and go outdoors and wash easy. So we printed them on beach towels. And they are fantastic. I think, Alex, you bought one, didn't you? But of the people who's bought them, I've got nothing but rave reviews about them. So I'm really glad we took the chance on those. And again, that's the merch tab at workingdragonmystic.com. Or there'll be a link below all the videos if you're interested in those. Other than that, everybody, I want to remind you, the Linda issued a challenge last Sunday during Magical Coffee Hour. If you all get the channel to 1,537 or more subs, she will dress up and rap live on stream during the Magical Coffee Hour this Sunday. At the time I started the stream, we were less than 70 subscriptions away from making her rap live. Now, y'all know she picks on me all the time on that stream. I really want to see her rap. I really do. So tell your friends, share it around, let people know about the channel, the work we're doing. And let's try and get that number up so that we can see this, okay? And to be fair, I did issue the 5K challenge by Samhain, which if we hit 5K, I will be doing a research and ramblings. My wife will be picking the costume and the outfit. And everyone's pretty sure I'm going to be dressed in drag. And I won't lie, part of me is worried about that too. So yeah. She'll be doing the hair, the makeup, the whole works. And I do know she has actually found somebody who does like professional level makeup to do my makeup that night. So yeah, let's get the subs up so we can watch me embarrass myself. Other than that, you all have a wonderful week. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Almost forgot. I do have a weekly challenge this week. It's a weird one, but it goes back to exactly what Odin and Freya's had me working on. And it's going to be weird. It's not your typical metaphysical challenge. And I know with the way we've all been locked in our houses already, you're going to want to throw something at me. And Mathis here has volunteered to dress and drag with me. Just to point that out, he did volunteer. But I want you to pick one day this week, just one. Preferably not Tuesday, Friday, or Saturday. Or no, not Tuesday, Friday, or Sunday. None of those days. And I want you to unplug for at least 8 hours. No tech. No phone, no computer, no email, no TV, no radio, no Walkman, none of it. And actually sit there and pay attention to you, what's going on in your life, and what you're doing. Just complete unplug. Nope, you can't do it while sleeping, Ani. No, that don't count. You have to be awake and conscious for this. It is a tough one. And as much as I'm not a technological person, I wouldn't have ever thought, unplugging something I have to do because I go camping so much. But to unplug, shut down electronics when you're at home, oh my God. That is so hard to do. But utilize that time. Review your journals from all your workings that you do. Maybe do some extra ritual work, meditation. Utilize the time if you want to. But yeah, give it a try. The goal's 8 hours. If you can do 8 hours, great. Do 8 hours. Journal your experience and your thoughts. If you can't do 8 hours, go as long as you can and then journal it. Okay? And I'm just asking for one day this week, just one. Well, it's easy to do camping because you ain't got nothing. I love camping. I go, I set the camp up, I build my fire, and I'm either fishing or I'm staring at the fire. That's all I do. Well, that and ritual will work because I go out by myself. But yeah, at home, it's tricky. It really is. So that's going to be this week's challenge. Unplug. The goal's 8 hours unplugged. If you can't quite make 8 hours, go as long as you can and then journal it and write down your withdrawal feelings is what we'll call it. No, fans and AC you can run. You can run fans, AC, your standardized light bulbs, stuff like that. You can run those. So just unplug from all the digital communications and entertainment distractions. Because the whole idea is basically to be left alone with your thoughts or alone with the real world as it functions in your house. Because if you have kids, you won't be alone with your thoughts. But without that technology buffer, oh man, it's a different experience. No, you don't have to be alone. So if you got boyfriend, girlfriend, hubbies, cats, dogs, whatever, just give them extra attention now that the buffer's removed. So it's really a fascinating experience. And it's weird too, because by the end of it, you're going to notice your senses, your arcane senses and your physical senses heighten. It is so weird. Well, you could take up whittling. I'll have to let you go with that as a parent. You got to decide that. But you cannot, if they're using tech, you can't interact with it unless it's like a parental emergency where you have to fix something. Obviously, you have to bend a little bit for the parenting thing. Though you are perfectly within your rights of a parent to unplug the whole household. I've done it to my nephews. I'm pretty sure they thought I was the devil when I did it. Yep, there you go. When in doubt, play Monopoly. That'll kill your 8 hours. So I'll put one caveat to that. One caveat. You can listen to music, or if you do audiobooks instead of reading, you can listen to an audiobook. But movies, television, stuff like that, that's going to engage multiple senses at one time. No. I know, right? So many people are used to Ani in the Discord. It's like, just reach out. So, wait a minute. Lee, I think I just figured out who you are. Doi. Now, obviously, during your 8-hour unplug, if a real emergency pops up, plug in and deal with the emergency. Don't do something stupid. Don't endanger yourself or someone else. Priority or emergency phone calls are okay. Recreational phone calls, no. So if you have to schedule doctor's appointments or something like that, and there's no other time to do it, like you can't wait till tomorrow, that would be fine. But if it can wait till tomorrow, make it wait till tomorrow. Even if you're baking a cheesecake and you just need that one ingredient you forgot, and all you got to do is call your mama or your best friend, even for cheesecake, you can't call. And I'm a cheesecake addict. That don't work, Ani. No, that counts as using someone else's electronics. That's like the parents. You can't use your kids' electronics, so you can't be looking through your neighbor's window and using theirs. Normally, I would agree with you, Lee. I really would. But for this particular challenge, cheesecake does not count as an emergency. Okay, so give it a shot. Let's see how we all do. I'll be unplugging for 8 hours Either Monday or Wednesday will be my days that I'm going to have to do it. Oh, God, that sounds good, Ani. That really does. If you have a recipe for a dark rum cheesecake, you better be sending that to me. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, everyone, I'm going to hop off here. Be sure to join us Sunday, hopefully for a live rap from the Linda of Caffeine and Chaos. I'm really hoping and looking forward to that. And Tuesday, the video on Freya is actually going live. So everyone who's been waiting on that video, Tuesday, you will finally get to see the Freya video. That was actually a lot of fun to do. Until then, everyone, take it easy, stay safe, figure out how you're going to unplug for 8 hours this week, and I'll see you Sunday. Take care. Good night.